So, for today's travel tip, I'm going to answer a question from Mimo in Hawaii. So Mimo sends me the message and says she is going to Paris and then to Italy for a birthday trip with her daughter. In Italy, she is going to Florence, to Rome, and to Venice. She's currently planning and deciding whether to take a train between Paris and Italy or a plane. The train ride is approximately 11 hours, or the plane is about 90 minutes. What would I recommend? So, FYI, I asked Mimo a few questions to answer her question properly. And here's the thing. I learned that this is a very subjective process. Your opinion and your worldview means whether or not you have the adventure spirit to try a train. Most of us in the United States are not comfortable with trains between intercity travel. We're used to the airplane. But this is not the case in Europe or in Asia or in many parts of the world. So I will start out and say, don't discount the train as a very viable method for transportation. If you were just to look and say 11 hours versus 90 minutes, it seems like a no-brainer. But when you factor in security, checkpoints, and shuttling to the airport, and the noise of leaving the airport and finding your hotel, sometimes the train is a very viable option. So I suggested that Mimo also look into the overnight train. Here's a personal experience from years ago. My wife and I, we met with the kids. I was on business in Europe. We spent a glorious week in southern Germany and Austria, ended up in Munich. Our final day in Munich was wonderful. We walked the kids all over the city. We had a great final meal. And then we got on a train at the Munich train station in a sleeper cart or a sleeper carriage. We went to sleep because everybody was tired. And we woke up the next morning, approximately 11 hours later, at the Santa Maria Novella train station in Florence. And it was glorious. I slept great. The kids slept well. We woke up in Florence, walked out. It was so early in the morning that the city was just coming to life. You could hear the birds chirping and the church bells chiming. We got to walk the streets as vendors were putting out the pastries for the morning. We got a little croissant or a cornetto. We walked over to the Ponte Vecchio. There was nobody on the Ponte Vecchio. It was kind of the city to ourselves. Then we went and walked over to the rental car place in Florence, got a rental car, and went off to our destination in Tuscany. Now for me, that was a far better option than flying into the Florence airport. If you haven't been to the Florence airport, it's a little chaotic. So for me, that was perfect. So I would say to you, as a little piece of advice, go and navigate through the travel websites, see people's commentaries on the TripAdvisors and whatnot. Find out somebody that has a personality profile like yourself and make the decision based on what you feel like your adventure temperament is. So that's my quick capsule summary of advice for trains versus planes. Until the next time, I say safe travels. Ciao.